good afternoon, or evening, whenever you all are watching this, parents. This is Principal Tobias Brookins, and I'm here with my partner, VP Andrea Valdez. How are you doing, Ms. Valdez?
Good afternoon. I'm doing well.
You doing good?
I'm doing well. We are excited. We have had lots of great, excited students on campus today. So we are hitting the ground running.
Yes, we are. And families, thank you so much for listening into the announcements and getting your children ready for the first day. It has been amazing. But what we wanted to do is get on and share with you what your children experienced today as we went over school-wide expectations and went over some of the opportunities and protocols that we have in place. So I'm going to share my screen with you all. Let me go to share screen. And I'm going to put up our PowerPoint in just a moment. Here we go. PowerPoint. It is ready to go. And then I come back down here and I'm going to hit my fabulous tab of share screen, and it's going to come up on your screen right now. Shwam! There it is. So this is our beautiful PowerPoint that we shared with your students. Each one of our departments, science, English, history, physical education, CTE and VAPA, language, our second language classes, and also seventh computer science and the 8th grade science wheel, and along with mathematics, all had separate presentations today. So I'm going to go ahead and put it on the big screen, and hopefully we can get through this pretty quickly. So I'm going to share the current screen. Hopefully this shows for everyone. In fact, let me check on my other device just to make sure, families. So what we wanted to do is make sure your child had a full experience in each classroom, each one of their subjects, and for them to be able to connect with their teachers. And so the first presentation that went through, we had them, each classroom had a little get to know you, but then we went into expectations. And so parents, you had already received this, but we did go over the dress code with all of the students to make sure that they were aware of what the dress code was. Now, we did see one all red today, but it was okay. He looked really nice too, by the way, but there's no all red. And then we did see a lot of sports caps, but as soon as I reminded them, they were reminded to take them off because we want to keep your children safe, because there are connections to so many different criminal activity connected to sports teams. Not that our students are involved in that, but we want to just keep them safe. And so we did see that. And then we saw a little bit of midriff. And so we want to make sure that all of our clothing is you're fully covered and that you are ready for school. Miss Valdez, anything else on the dress code?
No, I think you covered it all today. Students were really respectful when, we asked them, okay, not tomorrow. So they were, they did take it well when we were reinforcing that dress code. So thank you, parents, for talking to your students about the dress code.
Absolutely. And then we allow kids to kind of do little interview questions of the teacher. And so we moved on to introduction of administrators. And so you have myself, you have Ms. Valdez. Uh-oh, we have a blank space there. It's just a tiger, Ms. Valdez. There's no GLA. Parents, I should have sent out to you, all of you, that our GLA, Mr. Villarreal, he has accepted a principalship position at Toronis. So we're very proud of him. Woo! But that means we do have an opening for GLA. If you know anyone with an admin credential and they're currently working in our district, they might be in the classroom. They love instruction and really love kids and teachers and could come in a supportive role. Have to be somebody that's very organized, that knows how to kind of create forms and things of that nature. If so, please tell them to apply. The job opening stays open until August 21st. And then there's our counselors. For those of you who don't know parents, there they are. We have Mr. Sosa and Mrs. Ortiz Medrano, and we also have Mr. Her. Amazing counseling team. You see their grade levels that they support there. And then this is our clinical school social worker, Mr. Arambula. He is always helping our kids keep their social and emotional well-being together. Our kids are able to see him, and he also works on our TST team to make sure that we are working with kids that need extra support. And then our office staff, aren't they wonderful? Mrs. Her, Mrs. Duran Rios, Miss Bustamante, and also we have our attendance clerk, Mrs. Ortiz. Wonderful office staff. They did a great job today getting everything together. But these are the ladies that you'll be speaking to if you call the school. Miss Sandhu, I've worked with her before. She's amazing. What an amazing nurse. In fact, we only had 5 students that were not able to get their shot records in, and I think we're all clear now. So we are completely safe at Computech Middle School. Our library staff, they are awesome. In this group, you have Mrs. Ward and Mrs. Cameron, super awesome ladies, making sure that reading is a focus around our campus. And then our SRO, we do have an SRO this year, Officer Moses. We are so grateful that he's on, and he's already making connections with kids. Here are our 2 campus safety assistants. That's Mr. Huerta and Mr. Lucio. They have been here for some time, but we do have an opening for another campus safety assistant. So if you know anybody interested in really connecting with kids and keeping us safe, let them know they can apply now.
And that is a 6-hour position.
That is the 6-hour position. Look at our NTAs. Aren't they awesome? You got Mr. and Mrs. Harris and Mrs. Linda, and we are hiring 3 more NTAs. Leadership. Woo! Mrs. Vargas was on fire already. She's our new campus culture director. So parents, when you hear leadership and you hear about activities and you hear about rally schedules and all of that, that's coming through this great lady here. She comes to us, I believe, from Bullard was the last stop. And so now she's helping us have a great campus. Library protocols. The students were given the library protocols. Students are always welcome into the library. Students will be given some limited time to swap books in the library. 7th grade is able to visit during ELA on Tuesdays and Wednesdays, and then 8th grade, Thursdays and Friday. Parents, ask your students, have you read another book yet? What book are you reading now? We want students reading a minimum of 2 hours each week of a book of their choice. Then we moved on to the restroom policy. We have 8 periods here. No restroom passes for the first 15 minutes of class or the last 5 of class. And then during our regular schedule, it is the same, first 15 minutes and last 5. We use 5-star here, which only allows for 10 students to be out of class at any given time. It is a digital system. Your students were taught today how to use it so that they can write themselves a restroom pass. If there's room to go out, it will release them. And it also gives them a timestamp. They will be allotted 7 minutes to get back to class. This is a way that we keep our campus safe, knowing where everyone is, and also our students focus on their work. So this is the 5-star system explaining how they can create a pass. So ask your child about that when they get home. Do you remember how to make a pass? Do you remember the restroom policy? Ask them about that when they get home. I'm interested to see what they say. And then we have different types of passes. We have a restroom pass, an office pass, an academic counselor pass, social worker pass, nurse pass, and back to class pass. Sign in and out cards. This will be when we get our IDs. And by the way, we're working on temporary IDs. Hopefully we'll be ready for your students tomorrow. 8th graders can use their ID from last year for right now until we get our pictures taken. We'll be giving out some special incentive points for students that are on iReady each week. I'll start monitoring it this week. So we want your students to complete 2 math lessons and 2 ELA iReady lessons each week. Actually, I probably wouldn't be able to do all of them this week because only math is assessing. But so I guess starting next week, then we'll have to do it, Ms. Valdez. We'll start giving points out for those students that complete their iReady lessons on their own time. And then we'll give out Tiger Bucks. Tiger Bucks are when you're doing something in the guidelines for success, that is being truthful, that is being inquisitive, having a growth mindset, engaged, or responsible. Parents, here's the drop off and pick up. So if you're dropping off and pick it up, here's the map. You want to come in and very politely and civilly come into the parking lot, go around, and then drop your child off, and then come back out on Belgravia heading west. This keeps us safe. Please watch for students. We appreciate that you're rushing to get your kids here, but please don't rush that bad that it becomes unsafe. We want to make sure everyone is safe in the drop off and pickup. This, we explain to kids where to go after school to get to the bus. So they walk out through the cafeteria side gate. You see in the middle picture, they go out towards the street. And then finally, they stay on the right side of the yellow line and they line up along the gate next to their bus sign. Our buses are set up by route number and route name. Your student will be looking for the route name when they look at signs on the fence in order to find out where their bus is. And you all have all of this. Just continue to remind your students. This is the late bus, one of the late buses. And then we have another late bus. And then we have a super late bus. Isn't that a lot, parents, right? So you have a pretty late bus, and then a kind of late bus, and then a even more late bus. So we have 3 buses coming. So we want you to just remind your child. So bus behavior, if you end up with a referral, that's a bad thing. We don't want that. And we want them to be very well behaved, or we don't want to distract the bus driver. But if you do get in trouble, parents, it is a 5-day suspension if we warrant it to be so. And then the second one is an automatic 5-day suspension. And after that, they'll lose their bus privileges. So we don't want to go down that route. We know that our kids are among the high character kids in our district, but we do have to tell you about that. If there's a fight, that's a 10-day suspension. Then after that, you just lose your bus privileges. All right. Now let's look in on hallway expectations. Your students were told to make sure that they're following the rules of the road, respecting each other's space. Hallways are walking zones. We didn't have any students running today, Ms. Valdez. It was awesome. They were perfect. Keeping the hallways clear, voice level 0, 1, or 2, and always using academic language. That's very important that we're always using academic language, and no student allowed to hang out in the halls during lunch. Big thing, everyone needs to be in a designated space. You either go to your club or you sit in the cafeteria and eat. After you eat, you can throw your things away and go back to your table and relax with your friends. You can sit out on the outside patio, or you can go to see the activities for the leadership, or you can go out and play sports or sit around the periphery of the campus, but no standing in the hallways. The yellow areas are where we're designated eating areas. Thank you, Ms. Valdez, for this. This is a beautiful chart. Well done. We want to make sure our campus stays clean, and so these are the only eating areas. Please remind your children. No DoorDash, no Uber Eats, no whatever else. Please, 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 parents, remind your children, if you have something you'd like them to eat, please pack them a lunch. And we believe we have a pretty good lunch here. So, and it's free. It's free. And then lastly, we went to the Bluetooth, no Bluetooth devices Also, remember, we have the no cell phone policy. I'll get to that right now. There it is. Students were amazing today. They only used their cell phone at the very beginning when they had to find their schedule. After that, they put them completely away. We've had a great day with no cell phone, so our kids have been engaged. And then this is our fire drill map, being prepared, and we'll be going over this in more depth with your students. But notice that the arrows are going to our large field on the west side. That is where our safety zone is. So in the case of an emergency, that's where we will go. If there's a need for us to get reestablished or reconnect you with your child in the case of a severe emergency, we will be housed on that west field if it's something that doesn't make us have to go to another location. We went over earthquake procedures. Try saying that. Okay. It shouldn't be that hard. I've been talking all day. But we went over the procedures. And then lastly, we went over identification, their passes when they do get them, wearing their lanyard, where everything is at, lunch lines, how they're supposed to line up. You see it there. We're going to be very orderly this year, and being kind and allowing people to sit next to us. And then we went over champs, and that is simply the expectations we have for conversation, how to get help, how to get assistance, how to move about, how to participate, and how it leads to success. So each teacher went over their specific expectations in class. All right, so parents, that is a quick review of everything your children experienced today. If you have any questions, you can contact me or Ms. Valdez. Ms. Valdez, anything else?
No, you guys are doing an amazing job with those kids. Those kids were prepared, ready to go, eager to learn, and we are eager and happy to have them here.
Okay, well, we look forward to seeing your child tomorrow. Please go over some of this with them. You said, Mr. Brookins, this video was too long. Listen, just snip through some of it and just check your child, say, hey, what did you learn in history? Or what did they talk about? What are the rules of the road? Or how are you supposed to walk down the hallway? Or what's the cell phone policy? During dinner, just quiz them and see what answer they come up with. And if they get 100%, give them an A and send it to us so we can put it on their report card. Great job.
Rally scheduled tomorrow. 7th graders will be in a rally tomorrow. So looking forward to the rally tomorrow with our 7th graders.
It is a rally. It is a rally day tomorrow. Okay, listen, have a great day. And remember,